I'm noticing a lot of people in relationships, and this isn't for those who are married. This isn't about those who may have a long-term living situation. But basically, when you don't even spend the majority of your living situation, meaning that you don't live with the person, you have never lived with the person, and somehow these people gain a priority of someone who, was in a relationship like you're married. I personally think that, in my opinion, you don't really know anyone until you spend an awful lot of time with them, and mainly maybe a weekend, a week, a couple of months. Not even that, but you have to at least spend a decent amount of time with their guard let down. Because if they have their guard up, meaning that if it's on a date, basically you're putting on a presentation. Even if they're themselves and they're authentic, sometimes you just fall into a certain type of etiquette. You fall into a certain type of charm, chivalry, and but your guard isn't down on a consistent basis to where as though you start noticing people's habits and or they expose some of their faults. Now we're not all perfect, but you have to give it time, or you have to find this out. And again, I'm not saying this applies if you're married because you already made a vow, but you have to know, you have to get time to notice and try to figure out, is this person really the one for you? Okay, why are you settling and giving stripes and canceling friends and stressing and giving certain privileges? Now, I'm not necessarily saying wait like 90 days for intimacy or anything like that, but why are you giving your entire self, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, the privilege of your time? Like, why are you doing that? Because you may be placing an investment in the wrong person. Now, that doesn't mean you are placing it in the wrong person, but I'm noticing that a lot of people take relationships with men or women, and you're not married, but you're giving them the married privileges. They're looking through your phones. There's no type of trust and all this other type of, extreme behavior to this person. That you don't know. They may be using you. They may be dating like a whole bunch of other people and only contact you when you're bored. Or they may just be with you, but just because you may have things in common. And I mostly see like if one person has a son and the other person has a son or something like that, or they may be in a similar situation, that doesn't mean that you're made for each other. That doesn't mean, the chemistry is there. Yeah, you may have good times, but being in a relationship, being married, or being in a serious relationship where it's unconditional love, where you accept the faults and you push aside your friends and other people, or you push aside yourself, is a privilege, I believe, that needs to be taken a little bit more serious. And you shouldn't settle. You shouldn't settle for the first one to pay you attention, because they may not have nothing else going on. They may be insecure about themselves and idolize you. Now that's not a good thing either. So, why settle? Why settle for a person and you're not sure of their angle? Why get all hyped up and be in a fantasy zone, illusion and delusional, for a person, and you don't really know their deal until you're married, until you live with them, or at least until you spent a considerable amount of time to get to know them. Now, here's the thing. Let's say everything was good, and then you get to know them and you find some bad things out about them. Now, again, this doesn't apply, I keep saying, with marriage, because maybe, you saw something there and the chemistry was there before and you just need a little bit of counseling. Sometimes people do need a break or a different perspective or of looking at things and everything like that. But if you're just in a relationship and you're dating, your tolerance for things and your patience as far as dealing with negative things that come your way is on a different type of scale. You shouldn't really, like, even if you've been with them a couple of months, you know, that's what dating's for. So you can say, you know what, that's not for me, and keep it moving. Don't settle. Don't settle that way, I should say. Don't just settle for less, to be more clear about it. You know, you'll be surprised what type of people there are out there, what type of character certain people can have, their true nature. You know, this is how some of these situations end up on the news, you know, or even if you just get taken advantage of, whether for physical or for monetary. And some people are just plain not all there mentally to even be in a relationship, and they put on a good show for the first couple of months, but learn how to let go if that show isn't a production you enjoy.